Hey, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, your pet's ally. Hope that you are well. You get to watch the storm roll in with me, and I will apologize in advance. I'm on satellite for internet, so this may get glitchy, but I wanted to get this information out to you about Assisi Loops. And by that, I mean both the Assisi Loop that's used with to help support pets with pain, as well as the CC Loop that's called the Canine Calmer. So they are both awesome products. I'm going to show you how I've been using them for my pets. If I can get this thing to cooperate with me. Um, so let's just pop over here and I'll start this out for you. Not sure what's up with that, but okay. Okay, so let's take a look. So I've been mentioning to many of you that follow me that I've been using these devices for both Pepe and Hayo for a couple of reasons. One is that Pepe is 12. He's our cat. He has a great deal of back pain when he tries to act like he's 12, or excuse me, 2. And then Hayo has a great deal of anxiety. And we are living in Mexico currently. And right now, things are relatively calm, but the Mexican people, especially in central Mexico, love to use fireworks. And they they do this sort of for any reason at all. And they're not the things that you think of, like the little firecrackers. No, these are closer to M80s. They're actually loading fireworks at home for most of their celebrations. So, needless to say, it has been scary for Hayo because she already had some pretty significant thunderstorm phobia, and this really kind of cranked it up. So, we wanted to see what else we could do aside from CBD and some other things of that nature. To help her and help her not be so frightened. And so here you can see this is sort of our morning routine as far as uh, Hayo has the Canine Calmer loop on, which has a little device that'll help fasten it around her neck, which I'll show you in a minute. And then I'm using the Assisi loop, the pulsed electromagnetic frequency. But this is the Assisi loop that's used for pain and discomfort. And it is, I mean, it's super simple. The deal is with these is that they have about 150 uses per device, and then they're no good. And so I'm not quite sure why that is, but I think these devices put out a significant amount more power than the Canine Calmer does. So those of you that are not familiar with PEMF, PEMF, it is pulsed electromagnetic frequency, and the mechanisms are a little bit unclear at times, but what we do know is that it seems to help improve function and reduce pain levels for both people and humans. And we went with this device because we travel constantly. And it is very small. It's about the size of my hand, so it's really easy for us to carry. There are more elaborate devices, which I'll show you in a couple of minutes, that are big enough for your pet to actually lay down on. So for an older pet that has really significant arthritis, that is a fantastic option because literally, let me pop over here, literally, and they have various sizes for different pets. They can either go in this little carrier deal or be on this pad, and the pad will continue to operate signal for 2 hours at a time. So for really old arthritic pets that are sleeping a lot of the time, this is an outstanding option. And again, we went with the smaller loop because we're dealing with Pepe and with Hayo as well. But as you can see, these can be used for dogs, cats, and horses. So there's different sizes. Pepe has relatively small issues with pain, so we went with the manual one. The auto cycle will kind of cycle on and off for about 2 hours. So that's, again, better for pets with really persistent medical issues. The other thing is that, if your pet really has an acute injury, you can use this 4 or 5 times a day. It will operate through a 15-minute cycle, and then your pet can go back to doing its thing and hopefully will feel more comfortable through the day. So this is kind of all of the Assisi products. Let me pop back over here. So when we got this, Pep is always kind of curious about things, and mostly he's more curious about the boxes. And he decided that maybe he would check it out. So here's the first time we used it for him. And sorry, the picture is not super clear. He's laying on Mary Joe, just kind of like looking at us like, what is this? And then a few minutes later, we get this, and you can't see it, but he's actually drooling because he is so happy. So this has been super easy for us to use. He really it has made a huge difference for him. So we can tell when we need to do another round of sessions, when he has to think hard about jumping up on something. So the other thing we received was the Canine Calmer, and so this is the unit itself, the boxes. This is the vest that it came with, although Hio is so tiny that this part, which is supposed to go around the waist, was practically useless. So she was sort of swimming in it. But the rest of it certainly was super useful. They send along a really nice use manual. These things are super simple, so really it's more about, how often would you use it, how to use um, the vest to keep it attached. They call it the convenience vest, but basically the landing pad, there's a giant piece of Velcro on the device itself, and then that attaches to the rest of the vest, and then that's how you would put it on. Um, and it's interesting, they don't have a lot of information about cats. The key, as I was trying to say, is to make sure that the device is no more than 4 inches away from your pet's head. Now, this device is awesome. And it has a battery that you can replace. Again, I think the power output with these devices is not as great as with the one that is used for pain, but it is still basically the same technology of pulsed electromagnetic frequency. So one of the things that is interesting is that in Chinese medicine, this was how they could uh, sort of track movement of something across the meridians. And why this is important is that the only thing they could use to track movement of something was by looking at magnetic energy. So they were actually measuring the um, movement through numbers of Gauss, which is a measure of magnetic function. So we've been through the twice a day for 6 weeks flow for Hio, and now, as you can hear, there's a thunderstorm in the background. We had one a little earlier in the afternoon, and all we had to do was put this on her and give her a bone, and she is happy as a clam. She took a big nap. She's been passed out. We took a little walk earlier, and there was still some thunder rumbling, and absolutely no problem. She wasn't panicking. She wasn't freaking out. So this has made an enormous difference for her. Um, the other thing I want to mention to you as you are working with your pets that have anxiety is that part of her getting better was using things like bones. She only has 2 teeth, but this dog will clean a bone off, and it helps relieve her anxiety. So that was sort of one of the things that was an aha moment. The other thing we realized is that if we get all wound up, like, oh my God, it's a thunderstorm. Oh, quick, get her things, get her this, get her that, get some CBD in her, get some of that in her. As we become more anxious, she became more anxious. And as we were able to sit down and say, oh, it's another storm, we'll just put your loop on and we'll just kind of hang out here on the sofa, she started to calm down dramatically. So that was like, we get so worried, we don't want them to be anxious and frightened, but our response to what we think will happen can often be a big problem for them too. Now, as I mentioned, Pepe is also has problems with thunderstorms and loud noises. And so what he would do, cats are really difficult to read with this, but what he does is hide. He's actually sitting next to the dryer. We found him in the dryer, so we had to be really super careful to make sure it was closed. But what he's trying to do is hide and to get into as small a space as possible. So we're having a thunderstorm here. So we've used the loop for him. And so he's looking around like, oh my God, what is out there trying to get me? So we've used the loop for him as well. And it does help quite a bit. Now, I will tell you, we were only able to get him to commit to 15 minutes once a day, so we weren't able to use it as it's directed, which is twice a day for 6 weeks. But it has still made a difference for him. He will go get in. He will go get into the onto the sofa, let us put the loop on, let him get super happy, that, and he feels much more comfortable. So we're going to continue working with him on that. He is not as frightened as he used to be, which I think is a significant improvement, but he does still hide. Used to be he would come hightailing it literally into the house, and now he is walking a little slower to the house to get in, and he is not so panicked trying to find a hiding space. So that's what I have for you today. So these are the two products that I mentioned. I will put the links for them here into the site, into the comments, so you can check that out. And let me pop this one in. Cool. And the other thing is, I have a excuse me, a 10% discount for you as well. So I'll drop this in here. It'll give you 10% off any of the products in the Assisi line. And that's what I got. So again, make an effort to kind of look at how your pet is responding to something that gives them a lot of anxiety or fear. And look at how you are responding to how they are responding. And I think if you can start to back that down a little bit, to where you start to stay calm and you're more of a leader or a guide for them, like, it's okay. I know this is scary, but it'll be over pretty quick. And remember, nothing really ever happens bad. So I think if you can help them be more present by being more present yourself, that will go a long ways. The other thing that we find too is that as Hayo is able to exercise more and to walk more, she has less anxiety, and that's well documented on the human side. If we have depression, if we have anxiety, things of that nature, if we exercise more, the majority of those symptoms diminish dramatically. So it is super important to use exercise. Also use CBD products. And again, we're huge fans of CBD Dog Health, and I'll put a link in there for you. But they have a product called Calm. And what is so cool about this is that Angela has wisely incorporated um, other essential oils other than the CBD oil. And in this product, she uses lavender to help reduce anxiety for pets. But it has been a terrific product for both PEP and Hyo. So we're using the CBD for PEP more as a pain relief tool. And it has been, again, a huge boon for him. So that's what I've got for you today. Sorry that the recording was so iffy. We will get a full file uploaded for you, and take good care. If you've got questions about how to help support your pet with anxiety, just email us at drruthroberts at drruthroberts.com. We can get you some basic ideas. I do offer one-to-one consultations. So the other thing I want you to think about if you need help with your pets is iPets Ally. It is a subscription program, and we do a weekly broadcast every Monday. that helps answer your specific questions about your individual pets. I'm able to help a lot of people very quickly this way. And once a month, we do a teaching session. We're on a specific topic, and then we're able to help answer questions directly during a live interactive active Zoom call with the Ultimate members. So keep that in mind. If you want more information about it, again, email us at drruthroberts.com. My assistants, Paul and Hannah, will get you hooked up with a $1 trial for a week. You can check it out. You can check out the library of videos and the transcripts and then audio files as well. So that's what I've got for you this week. I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, your pet's ally.